In this video, I will be adding an external battery connector to the RV. This video came about because I needed a method of connecting my ViaAir RV air compressor to the RV's battery.
And the reason why I want to do that, this is the battery box, and it is a sealed compartment, as you can see here, and the cables come out of here. So if you wanted to connect the air compressor to the battery, you'd have to disconnect this strap, remove the battery box, and then connect to the battery terminals. When you're having to put air and tire or something in an emergency condition, you don't want to have to mess with this battery box. So that's the primary purpose for the extended battery terminals. And we need a way to connect the jumpers to a battery. One method is we can buy this pre-made battery jumper kit. This is designed for in a car where you can maybe not get to the battery, but you need a jumper so you can put a set of jumpers on. And this consists of a heavy-duty connector with positive and negative terminals. And it also comes with short battery leads. And the problem with this is it's pretty expensive. Look at that, that thing will want to stay on. But we can build one for maybe $20 less. And to build one, we need a piece of aluminum or steel or whatever material you have handy. And then we have these terminals. And the way they work is you can unscrew them, and then you can also leave the covers on. And so we'll want to probably do something like this, and then cut this aluminum maybe here. Well, here we cut out our plate and located 4 holes for screws. So now we have to locate the mounting screws for terminals. And once these are positioned to where we want them, this punch here has a little barb tip on it, and it's the same diameter as the hole. And I use 632 here, 832 screws here. You can see the nuts go inside the boss on this side, but they stick up on that side, and that will interfere with the cover. So you see the cover does not go down on the number 8 screws. So I'll be using number 6 screws. And now you see the cover will fit flush with the ends here. And this is 1/8 inch thick aluminum. It's thick enough to accept a countersink, so I can use a flathead screw.
I then painted the aluminum plate black. I also found yet another use for my 3D printer. The plantain on the printer is heated, so I baked the painted part for a half hour at 60 degrees Celsius. This is not hot enough for a true baked finish, but it seemed to help. You can see that I used countersink 632 screws on the back side, so that way it will mount flush. And with some alligator clips, you can access it like this without having to take these covers off. But if needed, this is really easy to remove the cover. So either way, it works. And we can now compare the one that I made versus the commercial one. The commercial one was around $70. This was around $45.
And I bought 3-foot battery cables that had 3/8 inch on each end, so I only had to clip one end off. And the 3-foot piece allowed me to get the right length. And I marked the cables here. For example, here's a positive one. And these are, big cables, so you need a big cable cutter. And fortunately, I was able to find a pair of crimpers that would go down to 8 gauge. So I used these Thomas & Betts crimpers. And I added a little heat shrink to the ends, and they look pretty nice. And that pretty much completes the project. This is 8 AWG wire, so we're looking at maybe a maximum of 50 amps. But my intent is to use it with the ViaAir air compressor, and the maximum there is going to be about 35 amps. So this will more than power that. I would not recommend using jumper cables on this to jumper a car. It's 8 AWG, and plus you shouldn't be jumping vehicles with deep cycle batteries anyway. There is no circuit breaker on this line because it's a short haul right from the battery to the wall. However, you could put a circuit breaker in there if you wish. These won't fit. These are too big. So in order to use this with these particular alligator clips, I have to remove the covers, which is easy enough to do. And then I simply connect the terminals as you would any other battery terminal. And then I can turn on the air compressor. Visit rv-project.com.